Well, hey, welcome everybody. It is Tech Tip Tuesday time here on the 6th of February. Our first one for the month. I'm super happy to be here. My name is Ken Close. I am engineer and Healy World Member USA pioneer from the beginning days, and I'm joined by our awesome head of operations, Jake Barron. How you doing, Jake?
Good evening. I'm doing great, Ken. Hello, everyone.
All right. And we have, as always, we have a live customer service agent in the background. Who's with us tonight, Jake?
We have Christian helping us out tonight from our tech support team. Thank you for being here.
Woohoo. Hey, welcome, Christian. Thank you for being here. So you guys that are old timers to Tech Tip Tuesday, you know how it works. But those of you that are new, let me tell you what we're going to do tonight. So this is a chat-based forum. You guys place your questions, your inquiries, I don't know, just curiosities in the chat. And Jake, myself, and Christian will go to work to answer all those fun things for you live on the call. A lot of times Christian's putting so much cool stuff in the background when Jake and I are chatting it up out here. So make sure you pay attention to the chat. But that's what we do. It's a chat-based system. You guys put your questions in there. Go ahead and start if you want to right now. What we can't do though is we don't really talk about how to treat, diagnose, prevent, or any really address any conditions physically or mentally of the body. So we don't do that. We have great resources for that. Healy's got super awesome built-in tools for that. But anything else is pretty much fair game. We love to talk about all kinds of stuff. So how's that sound, Jake?
Sounds perfect.
All right, you guys, go ahead and start putting your questions in. And I mean, of course, if you don't have a question right now, we will start talking about stuff anyway. There's always something going on during the week, isn't there?
Yeah.
Well, we also just came off of with a brand new week. We just had a Frequencies and Friends episode. Cool stuff there. We got trainings coming up tomorrow. There's always new stuff to talk about. So, um, you guys, you got anything you want to ask us? I don't see anything yet.
Yeah, don't be shy. Come on.
Yeah, come on in, jump in here. And by the way, folks, this is open to everybody. So if you've got somebody out there on your team or even someone who just got their Healy and they're having some struggles or whatever, invite them in here and let's get this party started. Okay. I love it. We've got an AI assistant helping us out here tonight. These
Well, AI assistant, ask us some questions.
right? I love
Yeah.
it. I'm sitting here. So, by the way, you guys, you probably see Jake and his Healy attached. You see me with my Healy attached. What are you running there, Jake?
I'm running my traditional Tuesday evening program, Regeneration, in the fitness group.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
So, if you guys are, running some programs out there, a couple things I always love to know about what people are doing and why. That's the second part is why. So, like Jake said, he's running regeneration. There's some great attributes to regeneration from the fitness page because from the fitness page we look at it from the body's perspective, recovery, repair, and growth. Right. One of my favorite three subjects right there.
Yeah.
Um, I am running memory from the learning page on my Healy through microcurrent. Simultaneously, I am running the MagHealy here in the background from the atmosphere program called Study. Now, what do you think Study is about? It's about essentially accessing our learning mechanisms, our brain's ability to retain and to understand. And so when you guys have these complex questions, man, I want to be on my game. So I
Yeah.
got a couple things
And
we're
that's
gonna.
that's a good one for sure for Tech Tip Tuesday. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So let's see. So Bernice is asking, can someone with heart disease use the Mag Healy? So can you use the Mag Healy somehow? So yeah, when the looking at contraindicators, do we have a document on that?
We do. I was gonna pull it up here. But if you go to the, you connect to your MagHealy. Let me see if actually, let me just switch over here. But I'll pull up. But you can access the instructions for use from the app itself, both the app manual and the instructions for use. And the instructions for use always would have any contraindications listed there. So that's always where you're going to want to start. And then if there's any question about it, you're not sure based off of what it says there, it's always, of course, best to check with your healthcare practitioner too. If you have some sort of complicated conditions, or then maybe it's a little bit more not as straightforward, it's certainly best to check there as well too.
Yeah, so when you guys go into your app, whether you are activating your MagHealy or your Healy, you can go into that app and just know that at the bottom of the screen, when you're just taking a look at your app itself at the bottom of the screen, let's see, let's go over here. You've got from the main menu, you've got that little gear. That's the settings tab. And so you can go into that gear right there and you can take a look under my mag. Let's see, where is it? I'm going to look right now myself while
So
we're doing.
yeah, yeah. For the MagHealy itself, there's the next to the settings, there's that info
That's it.
center
That's it.
icon, and then you'll see there's a couple different options. There's news, Healy Academy, downloads, guide, which is the app manual for the MagHealy, and then instructions for use, and that is the document that pulls up the most recent version of the instructions for use, and that's the one where any contraindications would be listed there. So there's actually, if you go to the content, and then there's a table of contents, of course, and then you'll see there on page 5, there's warnings. Section 2.2, not for use by pregnant women, not for use by those with epilepsy, and not for use by those with a pacemaker or heart disease. So that answers your question. If there's something beyond that where you would think for some reason that whoever wants to use it should be able to, then again, check with your healthcare practitioner related to that.
I think it's always good to partner with those practitioners because they're trying to serve you as best as possible. And if you want to use this technology, then educate them, right? Get them interested in what you're wanting to do so that you guys can work together. Um,
Yeah,
it's
and just
partner.
keep in mind the Healy coil is the one method of using Healy that is pretty much safe for everything there. Microcurrent has certain contraindications. The MagHealy does itself, but the coil is safe even for people with pacemakers.
Yeah, absolutely. So now you know where it's at, right?
Yep.
By the way, folks, if you can't, I mean, I highly recommend that you just kind of peruse these apps, right? Go in there and just go down this avenue for a while, see where it goes, jump out, go down this avenue for a while, see where it goes. And and I don't do it all the time either. So you see, I'm like, okay, is it under settings, under info center?
Yeah.
Uh, but anyway, there you go. Awesome. And Christian's saying that he uses the regeneration program too, which is great for after workout,
Nice. Yeah. Yeah.
right? Good stuff.
Yep.
Okay. Um, let's see. Do we got any other questions yet? Nope. Looks like Christian's on top of it too, looking at the same page under the owner's manual and user's
Yeah.
guide. And so what that does, by the way, you guys, when you're looking at the app and you tap on those little menu items, it directs you right over to that PDF, and you can download that. You can save that to your devices too to have it as a handy reference later. I
Yeah,
use
it's really convenient to save it to your files. So like, for example, right now I was running regeneration in the Healy app. If I wanted to switch over to the MagHealy, I could of course hard close the Healy app, let that program continue to run. Or I could go to the Healy icon or the settings, My Healy, connect to another device, switch over to the MagHealy, and then in the info center, the documentation would be for the MagHealy instead of the Healy device there.
Yeah. So did you guys follow along right there? So this is important because when you want to switch from one device to another, right, there's a process because the same app, the Healy 2 app, will run multiple devices. Okay. Now, not at the same time, but you can start one device, send a program to it. Okay. When I say device, it could be either the Healy hardware, more than one Healy hardwares, or the MagHealy and Healy hardware. So you can do this. Um, and the way that's done is, of course, you turn on the devices, and when you open the app, it's going to, if you've not set up that device before, it's going to ask you to scan the serial number, right? If you've already put that device in, then it's going to have the serial number pull up at the first window there. And then you just click on the little dot of that device you want to open. Great. Now you open it. Then once it's open, you send a program to it. You choose a program from one of the pages and you send a program to it. When I say send, you choose the run function, you start that program, and it's going to send the entire program to the memory of either the Healy hardware or the MagHealy hardware. Okay, it's going to send it to that memory location. It's going to load all that content on the device and then start running. After it starts running, you can then hard close, as Jake said, the app, and the device is still going to stay running. The green light stays on, the blue light shuts off because you've disconnected the Bluetooth signal, but the green light stays on, meaning that that program's still running. Great. Now reopen the app, and it's going to go through that search process again. Of course, it's going to see whatever device you just ignored, but also the other ones that are turned on. So when you want to start the second device, you choose that one from the lineup, open it, send a program to it, and now once that gets started, both devices are running simultaneously. Okay. And you can actually switch back and forth to monitor those two by hard closing the app, again, going and choosing that serial number of the device, opening the app back up for that device, choose at the bottom of the screen, continue, and it's going to show you wherever that program was, wherever it is in that present moment. It's pretty cool that you can do this now and have multiple devices running at the same time. I hacked that whole system by running microcurrent, running the coil, and I can run the MagHealy all at the same time while some exercise routine that I'm doing. Or again, maybe here where I'm looking at maintaining focus, memory, cognitive skill, right? I can get all kinds of things running simultaneously. And my body, the cool thing about that, my body sorts it out. Right? My system sorts it out. I'm not going to overload myself. I'm not going to get too smart. Right? But it will help me to increase memory retention or access. It can help me to down regulate stress that might be blocking things. Yeah. So all kinds of cool stuff.
And well, since we have some time here, can you? I just joined under another
Oh,
Jake Banner in there. Can you go ahead and make me a co-host on the
you bet.
there?
Got it.
I'll share my screen and then we'll. Okay, let's see.
There we go. Yeah, demos are always nice. Live, real time stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Let me go back here and okay. Share screen. Okay, here we go. So, I, while I was doing that, I was kind of showing. Um, I connected to the MagHealy. Let me move my face out of the way here. But so I have a MagHealy program running now, and as you saw before, I'm gonna go ahead and actually. There's a couple ways you can do this. You can either connect to another device if you were on that other page. But I see I have study running here at 30%. Let's just go up to 50% here. And you'll see here, I have my MagHealy. I have the lights on the side. The program's running. All good. Got the lights on the front here too. So I'm actually going to just go ahead and completely hard close this app. So what does that mean? And on an iOS, I'm going to swipe up from the bottom here. And you'll see here, it brings up the programs that are open. And I'm just going to, from the bottom, swipe all the way up until this goes away. So I'm going to go like this. Boom. Okay. Now that program is that the app itself is closed. So you'll see here, if I bring my MagHealy back up here, the power light is still on, but the Bluetooth light is no longer on. So I'm not connected to Bluetooth, but that program is still running. You see the lights are still on the side. So that study program is still running at 50% on the MagHealy itself. But I'm going to go back in. I'm going to start the fitness program again because sometimes I forget you can do this because in the middle of a call, it's like, okay, I need to access something. Let's just close this thing out. But I'm going to show you what I should have done. But we're going to go over to the fitness. Actually, open up the Healy 2 app. So I have my Healy device clipped to me. It's on, the power light is flashing there. And I'm going now to connect to Healy 1 here. Click connect. So it's going to load up here. The Bluetooth light is now flashing on here. And I'm going to go ahead and start a program. And let me just clip this back. So I'm going to go over here. So I'm going to go back to regeneration, click next. It's it
Did you notice that, guys? Jake, it said on the screen right there before he connected,
Yeah.
it's been running for 4 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Right? Did you see that, guys? So in other words, the Healy was doing it all by itself. It was already running right before he even opened the
Mm-hmm.
screen right here.
Yep. So it's at 15% here. I'm going to boost this up just a little bit. Let's just go to 30 for now. So now you see my MagHealy is still going. The lights are still on there. Everything's good. And now I have a Healy program running. Both lights are flashing here on my Healy device. So I have regeneration running on the Healy, and I have study running on the MagHealy. So now, let's say I have study running and I want to boost that percent up. I have a couple more people in the room that just joined. I'm going to 100% on study. So I'm actually going to, same thing I did before, I'm going to hard close this Healy app. So I'm going to get rid of this one here. And then I'm going to go back. So you see here on my Healy device, I disconnected from it. Right now, my MagHealy and neither one is connected to the Healy app. On the Healy device, this power light is flashing. On the MagHealy, I have one light on, no Bluetooth light. So now we're going to go open up the Healy 2 app again. And this time we're going to connect to the MagHealy. So this is the one down here. I'm going to click connect. And let's just see here what comes up when we load this back in. Click next. So you see here, study doesn't have a duration, so it's been running for. It doesn't tell you the exact amount of time because it doesn't ever really end unless you stop it. But I'm going to click next. And you see here, the percent at the bottom is at 50%, which is the same intensity I had it at when I closed it. And now basically the only difference is I'm connected via Bluetooth. So the Bluetooth light is now on, along with the power light and the program indicator light, and then also the lights on the side. So I'm going to boost this up. Like I said, let's go all the way to 100% on this. And okay, so now we're at 100%. And now let's say the intensity is a little bit too much on my Healy 2 app. On that regeneration program, it's like a little bit too intense, maybe a little bit too much tingle there. then I want to back that down a little bit. So same thing. It's really simple. Just swipe up, hard close it, open the Healy 2 app again, and you'll see here the Bluetooth light on the MagHealy went off, but the power program light is still on. So I'm going to connect to my Healy device again. And just going to take a couple seconds to connect, and then we'll go right back into the program. Next. It says regeneration has been running for 7 minutes. Click next. So it's at 30%. Like I said, maybe it was a little bit too intense. So I'm going to back that down just a little bit to 20% and good. So it's once once you do this a few times, it's really simple to do. You know, just get the program, set it to where you want it to be, hard close the app, turn the other device on, connect to it, and you can go back and forth like this as many times as you want for the duration of the program. So it's pretty convenient to do once you know how to properly hard close an app on your smart device, because it's a little bit different for iOS versus Android.
And you could also add another device. So he's got two of them running simultaneously right now.
Yeah.
You can add another device to run. So if you're doing a demonstration, this is the coolest thing. I do demonstrations all the time, but I always recommend that you have the one who's getting the demonstration load the apps on their smart device so they have them.
Mhm.
But you know, if you only have one smart device for some reason, then you can actually get multiple devices, multiple Healys running
Yeah.
for multiple people. So this is super cool. And this is new, right? Well, not new. This is with the Healy 2 since it came out, relatively new
Yeah.
compared. Yeah. So this
Yeah.
is thanks for that demo. This is I
Sure.
think you guys will probably find that useful if you start doing it. All right. Let's see. Do we have any? I don't see any new questions. It's kind of a quiet crowd tonight, you guys. But I'm glad you're here. I mean, we can do some more fun stuff. Um, you know, when we're talking about multiple Healys, say the MagHealy and the Healy, or multiple, say, MagHealys even.
Yeah, I think my record, I think we at one event I connected to like 7 different Mag Healys, got them all running, connected, put on the prosperity program, hard close, connect to the next one. The whole room was running a single program just based off one smart device. So,
You see, and that's super helpful. And for instance, also if as what I'm doing right now, for instance, if you were to be looking for influences on the body, I'm using the microcurrent. Jake's using the microcurrent um, for a specific program, and the microcurrent infusion is going to be, one of the I feel one of the strongest implications into the body because we're really, really boosting ATP production, right? The energy within a cell. We're really boosting the actions that cells do, protein synthesis, amino acid transport. We're really boosting that with microcurrent. But we can now also simultaneously add some other influences magnetically, and that's done with the MagHealy and the Coil. So if you guys are, say, you're doing a workout routine, I highly recommend that if you've got multiple Healys to connect in that way. What are you doing when you're trying to work out? If you're trying to boost muscle, say you're doing some strength work, then there is a muscle program on the fitness page. You can run that via the microcurrent or the leads here connected to your body and really be adding some function to those cells, adding energy to those cells. Simultaneously, you could be running, say, either a coil. You can run the coil with another program running maybe strength or stamina from the same fitness page, right? There's some attributes to that. You could have strong muscle being built or uh, stamina within the muscle for endurance at the same time. So some creative ways you can do that.
yeah. And Ken, that's you mentioned about the microcurrent, and of course that is one of the unique features with the Healy devices. This is not just any ordinary microcurrent. It's individualized microcurrent frequencies for you. So it's not, if Ken and I are both running regeneration, it doesn't mean we're both getting the same frequencies. The resonance sensor is analyzing our own bioenergetic fields and giving us the frequencies that I need, and it's giving Ken the frequencies that he needs. So that's one of the very unique selling points for the Healy device itself.
And that's true when even if you got the Healy on with the electrodes and you have another Healy on with a coil attached to your body, they're both looking at the organism, the host, you, right? Even if Jake and I are side by side, it's going to be looking at you first because you're in the closest proximity with the Healy that has the coil on it. It's right there. It's designed to be right on your body. Now, if this coil and this Healy was sitting between Jake and I, just on the ground, on the table or something, it's going to be looking at the environment for creating those distinct frequencies for its host. It's not, if it's not clipped to me, it's not clipped to Jake, and it's just in the environment. The host is the combination of the two. So if you're, for instance, running your Healy with a coil and you've got your child sitting on your lap or your pet or your partner, it's going to be taking into account that combined energetic field. So, and Lindley asked the question about what we were just talking about. Can you run two programs at the same time with different Healys? And so, yeah, that's what we were just talking about. So, you can be running the coil, you can be running the microcurrent at the same time from one device. So, hopefully that's helpful. And by the way, folks, this will be recorded. So, you'll be able to take that section where Jake was just explaining and just listen to that, just rehearse that. If you're not sure how it's done, go back and watch the replay.
Yeah, so Ken, as you just so I have the MagHealy right here. It's still running the study program now at 100%. And then I have my Healy device that's running regeneration. You'll see here the power light is still flashing there. The Bluetooth light is off because I just hard closed the app. So I'm not connected via this device or the MagHealy to the app right now. And I just took out of the drawer here another Healy device, and so to answer your question there, I'm now running a third program. As you see, the Bluetooth light is flashing. So this is the device that's now connected to my Healy app, and you have the program running as well. So yeah, you can however many devices. But I mean, in most cases, yeah, you'd be using at most probably two Healys or a Healy and a MagHealy together. So that covers 99% of situations that most people would be in. But yeah, it's really convenient to be able to do that, to not have to have a separate smart device for each device that you're using.
Yeah, I remember when that was the case, you had to have a separate smart device, a separate app,
Yeah.
a separate smart device to be able to run each individual Healy. So great stuff. Let's see. So we have question here. I'm fairly new to Healy. What device and program would you run to regenerate muscle after injury? So again, we have um, a fantastic resource called the Healy Search module, right? The advisor search module, you can go in there and you can put in a keyword. And now the search module is this one over here on the other side of my shoulder right here. That is the wavy line here. You can see it off my shoulder here. There's a picture of it, the wavy line. It's called the Heal Advisor Search. Everybody's got it nowadays. Everybody's got the Healys. They've got this, and you can go in there, log in, put in a word in the window, in a keyword, and it's going to find, it's going to put groups of programs together that will help your condition, whatever you put in there. So let's say that's muscle injury. You
Yeah.
can put. Go
Again,
ahead.
it's interesting that that this question just came up because on not last week, the week before, our Healy for Beginners and Beyond, we did a demonstration of Healy search, and the search term that I put in there was muscle soreness. Um, and yeah, that some of regeneration was one of the ones that came up. But yeah, actually, I'll might as well I'll show where you can access that recording while you can get if you want to continue. Ken, I just wanted to mention that real quick.
Yeah, and I can pull my phone on this on the call too, so we can actually come and take a look. Like it was demonstrated, you demonstrated that on that Healy
Yeah,
on, so it's really great to be able to see how that works. Very useful.
yeah. So if you go to our Healy World Americas YouTube channel, you can get to it directly by going to HealyAmericas.com or go to YouTube and then go to at Healy World Americas. But if you go down to some of our recent videos, you'll see here this Healy for Beginners and Beyond from less than 2 weeks ago. But if you go to this one here, sometimes there's ads that play, but you go down and then let's just click under the description, click more. And then you'll see here how to determine which Healy programs to run for you. So if you click on this timestamp, it's going to take you directly to the segment. Let's just let this guy get this ad out of the way here. Skip that. And then, so this exactly what we were just talking about, what Ken was talking about, Heal Advisor search, which is in the Heal Advisor app. You can then you type in. Sorry, this actually skipped a little bit ahead because I actually had played this earlier because someone else asked that same question. But you'll see here, we kind of went through this, and then I typed in muscle, and I started to type sore or soreness, and stopped at sore. Mobility 22 came up for the program pack, and then the program pack at the top of the list is the one that's most relevant for that search term. But then if you go, you'll see here, um, regeneration. I don't have the sound on for that right now, but you'll see just a second here. So regeneration was the top program, mobility, and then it kind of goes on from there. So definitely just check that out. You can't break anything going through there and searching for whatever it is that you want or need assistance with or support with at that, any moment in time. And then you can create a IMF, and also if you continue watching this, it shows how to create a calendar to where it'll basically recommend as many up to 3 programs per day for you to run, and it'll send you a reminder. You can customize the reminder time to say, I want a reminder every morning at 7:30 a.m. to run my first program of the day, and it'll give you a push notification via the Heal Advisor app to run that, and you can customize the dates, times. If you don't want to run programs on Thursday for whatever reason, you can disable the or can uncheck Thursday as an option.
Yeah, I highly recommend going and watching that, you guys. Because of course you can pause it, rewind, and take a look at it again,
Yeah,
listen. So yeah, it's useful, very useful. As Jake said too, one thing to keep in mind is that the significance of what the analysis reveals is the order, right? The very first one is the highest priority. And so when you click on that grouping, it'll have the very first program, as you saw, regeneration. So it is the highest priority one to run first, right? It's you can run the other ones next, but or schedule those for different parts of the or different times of the week. Yeah, so look at the um look at the sequence. They're not by accident and they're not random.
yeah.
Okay, so let's see here. And Jake just put that recording there. Hey, by the way, folks, if you want to save the chat, you see some links in there, you see some content in there you want to save and hold on to. If you're on your PC or laptop, you can click on those 3 little dots down by the smiley face in the chat box. And at the end of this call, there'll be a pop-up window. You click on those three little dots. It'll say save chat, right? Tap on that or click on that. Um, at the end of this call, there'll be a pop-up window that says the meeting chat, and you can save it to your PC or your laptop. Won't work on a smart device, guys. Sorry. Yeah, won't work on a smart device. It's just not a way to save it on that stuff yet. I don't know. Maybe Zoom will figure it out, but that's just
Yeah.
not happening now. All right. Um, Gosh, we're just keeping up. Great, Jake. I mean,
I know. Yeah.
sometimes it's like getting lost in the shuffle, and Christian's back there just going, "Hey guys, what do we got to do here?"
Yeah.
Thanks for all that input too you're adding to us, Christian. I appreciate that. Do you want to talk about some of the upcoming meetings we do have tomorrow, guys? What's up Wednesday? If you haven't been on that call before, if you're new here, by the way, and I heard somebody say they're new here, plug yourself into what is available to the Americas. The Telegram group, that's where most of these calls are posted. There's also a calendar, by the way. Um, Healy's got a calendar that shows the weekly schedule of all the calls. We have a YouTube page where the recordings land. So definitely plug yourself in. Um, Jake just put the calendar. Um,
Yeah, so this is the calendar that Ken was just talking about. You can see here yesterday we had a really cool meeting called Momentum Monday that we have once a month with a great person from a company called the Accountability Partners, which the topic was overcoming obstacles, boulders, and boosters, which was great. There was a Spanish product training call from Mexico to see here today, right now, Tech Tip Tuesday. And these meetings are all linked. So if you click on it, it'll take you either directly to the meeting, or if registration is required, it'll take you to the page to register for that particular meeting. You see tomorrow there's What's Up Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. And then, Tech Tip Tuesday each Tuesday. Our next Healy for Beginners and Beyond actually is probably going to change from February 22nd. We haven't put together the agenda yet, but we're most likely going to move that to the afternoon on Tuesday, the 20th. We're not confirmed, but we're trying to put together an episode just on pets. So, which would be a lot of fun. So we haven't finalized that, but we're going to try to, because February 20th happens to be National Love Your Pet Day. So thought it would be a great time to do this month's Healy for Beginners and Beyond. But it's not confirmed yet, but we will definitely we'll know for sure by this time next week. So we would mention that on Tech Tip Tuesday or What's Up Wednesday. But for some reason you missed those, you can always go back and reference this calendar at HealyAmericasEvents.com, because this is always the most up-to-date location for any meetings. If they get moved or for some reason canceled or something new gets added, it would be here.
it's a great resource, you guys. We've come so far in the short 5 years that Healy's been around. It's only 4 in the US, right? But Healy's birthday was recent.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yes, the recordings are, for the most part, most all the recordings are there on that YouTube page, the Healy Americas YouTube page. So you can find those recordings, and there's different playlists in there. So they're separated by, Tech Tip Tuesdays are right here. What's Up Wednesdays are here. So there's different playlists. You can go and just sort through those playlists. A lot of content. Okay, so here's a question. So besides what comes up in the Blue App scan, how do you decide what programs to run when there's so many to choose from? I love this question because you're right. We're over 300 programs now. I mean, right? I have folks that say, I can't get I can't get this to work. I can't get that to work, or they're having troubles, or maybe a subscription expired. That's happened. And they're
Hmm.
going, I lost these programs. And I ask always, do you use all these programs? It's kind of hard to do. I mean, 300. And ideally, even if we're seasoned, you're probably not running more than 4 a day, right? And that's how many days is that? That's a lot. It's almost 100 days, right? All right. So, how do you know what programs to run? As you saw, as Jake just demonstrated, the Heal Advisor app is pretty vast. So you can put in things in there such as what is your goal? I, I do a lot of work with people in terms of performance and just epigenetics, how we change these bodies. So I ask one question first: what's your goal? What do you want out of life? I guess, right? What do you want to change? And so once you understand what you're trying to do, it gets a little more clear as to what to use to do so, right? So if we are in some state of unrest because we just can't get our mind to focus, all right, well, maybe some focus programs would be a good idea, right? So, so you can also go into the Heal Advisor search and put things in there like focus, and putting things in there as to what you're looking for. That database is huge, by the way. So, and it just keeps growing. So
Yeah.
put that in there. That's one way. Of course, the Heal Advisor Analyze app, as mentioned here, is a great way of deciding what's best for you. Um, don't discount your own intuition. Listen to your body. This is one of the other most important things is when we're starting to do these different regiments. Listen to your body. I don't recommend pushing through, right? Ignoring the body and just pushing through. Listen to the body. When our body is presenting a pain or a lack of energy or a dizziness or some symptom, listen to the body. It's there for a reason. It's trying to get your attention to get you to stop doing or start doing something. Okay. So, so that's my go-to all the time is that's where we level the playing field is with these bodies we have. They have an intelligence all in of themselves. Okay. Um, and to expand on that, do any of the scans include the Blue App database programs? Um,
So
scans.
I thinking what she's asking is if when you're doing the Heal Advisor search, does that recommend analyze app database? So no, that's separate. So the Heal Advisor search is recommending programs to run in the Healy 2 app, so either via the Coil or via the electrodes. If you're wanting to find out what to run in the Analyze app databases, that's when you would specifically use the resonance analysis module in there, and that will, of course, you can pick which database. You can do the all Healy program search, or you can pick specific databases to search as well. And again, there's when you mentioned there's so many to choose from, there's within there too, there's so many to choose from. Some of those databases have hundreds of entries that they're doing the analysis on.
Exactly. Yeah. So you've got so much content. Again, so it can get overwhelming. Like, where do you start? Where does one start with the information field and with Healy usage? Where do you start? Well, I believe that you you purchased your Healy or were interested in your Healy for a reason. What was it? You go back to the fundamentals because what happens a lot of times is you learn the vast capability of Healy and you go, oh my God, I didn't know it could do all this stuff. And you start getting, your mind may go this way and that way and the other. So, but why did you get the Healy? What was your interest in the first place? What got you started? Stick with that program for a while. The other thing that's really important to remember is that if there's a goal that you've got on the table, it doesn't matter what it is, whatever that goal is, give the influence from Healy time to work on your body. Doing an analysis every day or 3 or 4 times a day, you're going to get a lot of various results, but probably going to have a common denominator within those analysis because the whatever you're needing to correct within the body hasn't been corrected yet, and it's still going to pop up in different ways. So using the databases, say if you're using the database called, as Jake mentioned, all Healy programs, that encompasses all of the Healy microcurrent programs or the pink app, right?
Yeah.
All those 300 plus. Okay.
Yeah.
If you're choosing one of the other databases, it's just going to be the content within that database. And as Jake said, there could be hundreds of entities in each database, and there are lots. Either way, whatever you're choosing, if you're using the application process of the microcurrent and the Healy 2 app, whether it's microcurrent, um, the MagHealy or the Coil, then stick with that for a while, right? Let the body acclimate to whatever influence you're giving it. If it is with the blue app and you're using the vibrate mode, that's the frequency infusion into the information field of you, vibrate mode. Again, do that for a while. Give your body time to acclimate. You can do both at the same time. You can do several things at the same time. You saw us demonstrate how to do MagHealy and multiple Healys at the same time. But pay attention to the body. Pay attention to the
Yeah.
body.
But
Yeah.
that is a great question because I mentioned that you can run a scan for all Healy programs, but the comment back was, well, the all Healy program doesn't include the database program, which is true. So, but you also need to think about. So we mentioned there's 300 plus Healy programs. So doing an analysis for all Healy programs takes a certain period of time. When you're talking about the database programs, if you do, say you do an analysis, resonance analysis for creative homeopathy. So is 300 plus entries within that database, and anyone that's ever run that analysis knows it takes a couple minutes to run through that. And then that's just one of the database. If you add in all the databases and try to do a scan for all of it, it's just there's it's the focus is like there is none at that point. So, and that's why those are kind of meant to be. We actually did a training on this a couple months ago on Healy for beginners and beyond, where we went through each of the databases in there and kind of explain what the purpose of the database is, which can kind of help you narrow down which of those you might want to run an analysis on, if you know what the purpose of running programs in that database. So I'm not even sure if there was an all Healy database analysis, how long that would take to run. Maybe half an hour or more. I don't know.
It'd be a lot of content to try to cover. And again, I'll ask you this, audience. If you were to go into a sport, right, and train for a specific sport or a certain activity, if you were to train for that activity, there'd be a very distinct list of functions to do to the body in order to get it proficient in that sport or activity. It doesn't matter if you're gardening or if you're playing basketball. In order to strengthen the body, build a body that can handle the activity for a long period of time, you need to build muscle structures. You need to build flexibility, mobility, balance, certain things within the body. You need to build those things, and that takes time. You're working with a body that is a three-dimensional entity in space and time, so you need to give it time. If we do too much at once, what happens if you do too much activity at once? You ever been out in the yard doing yard work? Or you started a bike ride, you hadn't done that for a while, what happens? you're sore, right? There's certain things, it's certain happenings, your body's sore. And that's because it's not used to that. And then there's a recovery protocol that you have to go through. And if you're too sore, you won't be able to do the activity again. So the point is here is that take time, slide into it a little at a time, um, and give your body plenty of space to recover. All right. You're
Okay.
muted, Jake.
Yeah, sorry. While we're on this topic, so this is the individual playlist for Healy for beginners and beyond. And we mentioned a couple months ago, you see here September 7th, 2023, overview of the resonance databases. And and I'm gonna scroll. So again, click on the more in the description, and you'll see here we went through each of these resonance database analysis, hawk flowers, some practical hints, Australian bush flowers, gem elixirs, and we talked a little bit about each of those and kind of what the purpose is there. So that will be, I think, a great resource for anyone that's not familiar with what those databases are for, and why you would want to do an analysis on that specific database.
Super valuable stuff right there, you guys. Um, so there's a question in here about when you're running a program, and what's that message? The frequency is generated, but no measurable current is flowing. And we've talked about this before as well. And I love this question. So I'm going to bring actually my device on the screen here and share with you what's going on there, right? So let's just take a peek here at what happens when Healy is transmitting a signal, right? You're running the Healy 2 app, right? And it is transmitting a signal. It doesn't matter if that signal, the output is through your coil or it is through your microcurrent, right? Through your leads. So here's my MagHealy running right now. So in order to stop sharing on that one and go to my other one, again, like Jake displayed earlier, hard close this, open the app again, and let it search for my Healy. And I'll connect that guy. There's the Healy. And that's the Healy that's connected to my body right now. Okay, I'm running the leads. My wristbands are on, and you can run the leads with your sticky pads or the wristbands. Either way, it's going to have the ability to run this microcurrent. Okay, so you'll see in the center of the screen this flowing wave. This is an indication of the waves or the energy being given to your body. And then here's this sentence that was in question. Frequency is being generated, but no measurable current is flowing. Why? What's that mean? What that means is that the output of the Healy, so at the bottom of the screen, you see 15%, is too low for the load it's trying to go through. I am the load. I am the receiver. And so it's trying to go through my body, and the frequency being transmitted, it also determines how much power it needs to get through my body. Right? So lower frequencies below, say, 400 hertz or 500 hertz require more power or amplitude. And that's where we can adjust that at the bottom of the screen. I can hit that plus or minus at the bottom of the screen to increase or decrease the intensity. That's the amplitude of the microcurrent going through my body. So if you're getting that signal, it means that you're not, either a couple of things, either you don't have enough amplitude of the signal to get through your body, or you don't have a good connection. So I'm going to increase the percentage of the output to 35%, 40%, there's 40. Now, at that same frequency that was showing before, that was that lower frequency, see that 47.8? It's harder to get through my body. It's a low frequency. I need to have more power to get it through. So I crank it up to 55. Now it's getting through. Now I'm showing a 666 hertz. It's a higher frequency, takes less energy to get through. But if I was to disconnect one of the leads, I would get that same signal because there's no power going through me. None of the signals going through me. Okay. So if I was running the coil and I was getting that same message, I would be suspicious of the coil's integrity or function. Usually you will not see that signal with a coil because it's going through the coil itself. Because I'm the one that's in the middle of the circuit. I'm the determining factor whether this energy is getting through. And as you see, sometimes it's not. Now, you need to make sure that you are hydrating or moistening these connections when you put the wristbands on. You also need to make sure your body's hydrated. Okay, so those are some factors that also play into this. Okay. Anything you want to add there, Jake?
No, that was great.
And we've done some demonstrations on this. In fact, we did a demonstration on how to test your Healy to find out if the electrical circuit is good. We did that.
Yeah, that was on the link that I posted earlier of the most recent Healy for Beginners and Beyond from 11 days ago. Ken did a little demonstration on how to test that, which was great. So another reason to go back and review that one.
Yeah, if you're suspicious that maybe one of the wires are damaged or one of your wristbands aren't functioning properly, whatever that is, there's a way to test that hardware to make sure it's okay. It's pretty easy. Everybody can do it. So definitely go take a look at that and you'll see what I'm talking about. So here's the question about percentages. What's a good percentage to run a program? Or is it based on the person and what's going on in their system? So this is another good question because the percentage, you see that I'm at 65% right now. Here's one of the first markers to decide. Can you feel it? Right? Can you feel this tingly sensation or current flow sensation? Can you feel it? The idea is not to be able to feel it. You don't need to feel it for it to be effective. In fact, the moment you can feel it, your mind goes to what you can feel and begins to turn on a stress response to some degree, right? So it's best not to feel it. So what you do is you can increase this current flow till you can feel it and then back it off a couple of clicks, one or two. So the analysis is, am I feeling it? Am I getting the current flow through my body at those frequencies indicated on the screen? You know, in other words, am I getting that message saying that frequencies are being transmitted but no current flow? And find that balance to where you don't get the message, and you don't feel the sensation and you get this flow. It takes a bit of practice and a little bit of understanding your body and the programs. Because like I said, certain frequencies require you crank it up a little bit. And then when it changes to another frequency, you may be feeling it, right? So you got to find that happy medium. Okay. And let me give you I'm going to throw another little wrench in the equation is that if you're not properly hydrated, that's going to throw some of that right out the window. Right. So you'll get to know your body and the interaction with Healy the more you use it. So these are just some tips, some guides. Anything you want to add there, Jake?
No, I mean that's exactly it does vary for each person.
Yeah. Yeah. We're all unique beings, all genetically shifted a little bit. But yeah, there you go. Okay. Last question here. Why does the percentage show beside the hertz? Um, it shows a negative and a positive when it's running. So this is again great question because um, the Healy does the first of all evaluation of the host, what you're connected to. You does an evaluation. It picks for the purpose of the program maybe 5 or 6 frequencies based on you, the resonance of you, and the purpose of the program, and then starts to implement those frequencies into your body. Once did the analysis part, find the resonance of your body and picks the frequencies, starts to implement them, then it shows you based on each frequency your body's progress or resonance with that one frequency. That's the progress report. And the scale of measure is from negative 99% to positive 99%. If you're showing some negative numbers after that frequency, your body really, really needs it. Okay. It's not a bad thing. It's just that your body really, really needs it. And so it's going to take a while to actually charge your body up to 100% resonant with that one frequency. Once that progress report, you saw the percentage gets up to 100%, well, you'll never see 100%. But when it gets up there around 97, it kicks it out of the routine because your body's fully at full resonance with that frequency and you don't see it come back through the cycle again. So that's it. There's a video on some of this, right? Um,
Yeah,
well,
again, back to our YouTube channel. There's a lot of resources related to that, but yeah, uh, when you have a frequency that first comes up at negative 99%, to me that means that the Healy device is working and it's picking. It looked at your bioenergetic field and it says you need this one a lot, so let's give it to you.
yeah, and you'll see as it comes around the routine again, that same frequency it pops
Yeah,
up. Instead of at negative 99, the next time it might be negative 50,
yeah.
right? And then it might be positive 30 the next time around. And then it just keeps increasing the resonance your body's experiencing with that one frequency. It's just your body's just raising its level, like charging your battery, right? So eventually you get fully charged and that frequency is kicked out of the routine. The Healy doesn't give you and can't give you what you don't need. I say that all the time. All right, guys, we're at the end of our hour. Thanks for the questions. Thanks for being here. Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Christian. Super appreciate you guys. Anything you want to close with, Jake?
No, but I mean, yeah, you mentioned it, but invite if you found this meeting helpful, others that might benefit from the type of questions that we answer and discuss. We don't have an agenda for this call. It's all based off the questions that you ask us in the chat, and a lot of times it goes different. We covered a very wide range of topics here, but the more people we have on this call, the more questions we can get answered to help the larger Healy World community. But yeah, hope to see all of you on this call with some additional friends and guests, other fellow Healy users next week. And then, of course, love to see you all on What's Up Wednesday tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern.
All right, you guys. Thanks for being here. Have a great evening. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.
You